Good morning from Algonquin Park. December 22nd, just after 8 a.m. in the morning. And believe it or not, the sun has just risen. Today's sunrise was at 7:56 a.m. and sunset is forecasted to be at 4:34 p.m. So it's going to be a very short day, given that we're one day after the winter solstice. That's no surprise. But it means I wanted to get here early and make the most of the daylight that I have. I'm at the Big Pines Trail, and the goal today is to hike this trail, but also explore the lands beyond the trail and see if I can't find a suitable winter camping spot for my winter camp in 2024. So that's the plan, and I'm gonna get started before I freeze. All right, off we go. Just making my way along the Big Pines Trail. I'm probably about half an hour in. And I'll tell you, it hasn't warmed up that much, although the sun is starting to bleed through the trees and provide some highlights. It's still very chilly here. But man, oh man, there are some very large pines in here, and not all of them are living. This one behind me, gosh, I don't know how old it is, but it is big, very tall, very rotten, as is this one. So I think these will be coming down in the next few years, but what a lovely woodland. A little close to the road, but just a beautiful undulating walk. And so I'm going to keep on my way. I see more sunshine ahead, so hopefully I'll try to get into a warm spot. Anyway, I'm going to continue on my way along this beautiful trail. Well, this big fella must be the biggest of the big pines. When I look up, there's not even a branch within 50 feet of the ground. It's just like a telephone pole, and then at the top it gets bushy. Wow, look how big around. It'd take 3 of me to get my arms around this bad boy. Wow, to think the forest was full of these things at one time. All this original growth. Wow. Just a stallion of a tree. Makes me happy. Starting to get a little more warmth and sunlight creeping into the forest here as the sun gets higher in the sky, but the temperature certainly hasn't warmed up that much. Here's another one. This is probably the 4th, 5th big pine that I've seen. And of the 4, just that one stag was dead. The others have been very healthy and very large. So I'm continuing along this Big Pines Trail. We're heading northeast now. And I don't know how much longer, but I should expect to emerge into an open field, which is the area that I intend to look for a winter camping site in. But now it's uphill, so better get going. Wow, look at this stag. Unlike the last one, this one has seen better days, and it's definitely dead. In fact, it's split right down the middle, almost halfway down in the middle. And in fact, I'm a little uncomfortable standing underneath it because some of these branches at top look a little dodgy, but wow. Another fallen soldier. Wow, this is a really cool feature. Right here is a stag. Not that tall, but beefy in the waist. And its roots are completely intertwined with these rocks here. It's literally growing out of a space in between two rocks. And often you'll see trees like this growing out of small crevices. But a tree this size, this big, it's just made its home in between these erratics. This is one of the largest, I'm going to call it an erratic tree. It's one of the largest erratic trees I've ever seen. And the root mass comes right down here. In fact, the roots, they're covered by snow, but they're here above ground. Amazing. Yep, that's another dead one. Well, I've reached the meadow area north of the Big Pine Trail. And this isn't exactly the spot I was looking for. I was here many years ago, and I'm not exactly sure where the access to the meadow is. It's off this trail. I might have jumped off the trail a little prematurely because this is a bog. There's water over there, and my right foot's telling me I'm standing in water right now. So yeah, we're gonna hop back on the trail and keep heading westward. And I think through the trees I might see an opening. So hopefully we'll get into a drier area as we proceed along the trail. But it's so nice to come out and bask in this sun. In the trail there, it's quite dark, with the exception of little slivers of light that manage to find their way through the trees and, illuminate stumps or, melting snow on an isolated pine bough. But for the most part, it's pretty dark in there and quite chilly. So I'm gonna hop back in there and move along and see if we can't find more of a meadow and less of a bog. So here we go. Well, I walked for another 10 minutes along the trail, and I still haven't found access to the meadow, but I have found the headwaters to the bog. Okay, so you can probably hear the creek behind me. It's a cute little creek, and it's snowy, and it looks very storybook. Little bits of ice frozen around the rock, and a pillow of snow on top. I've been continuing along the Big Pines Trail and following the creek river that runs adjacent to the north side of it, and it has brought me to the meadow that I was looking for. And wow, what a sight this is. Just sun-splashed and totally unexpected. Unless you knew it was here, you would just think, where did the forest go? But it is a bog, and the last time I was here, it was covered in snow, covered in ice, and was not a challenge to cross, but today will be a challenge. The water is open, and unfortunately, I will not be able to make it across to the far side. But I think I'm just going to chill out here for a little bit and take in this beautiful scene. Just lovely. Coming up on 1:30 now, and can't believe I left my truck at just after 8. Doesn't feel like I've been out here for as long as I have, but I have. No food, no water, so I'm gonna make my way back to the truck and at least get some food and some water in me and then see what happens after that. I'm probably halfway back on the loop part of the trail, having left the meadow, which was the turnaround, probably half an hour ago or so. So I'm going to keep making my way back. It has warmed up a little bit, and I am getting a little more sun breaking through the trees as the sun is about as high in the sky as it's going to get for the day, I think. Anyway, I'm going to keep making my way back to the car and try to get some blood in my fingers. Very cold, a lot of shooting, and my hands are quite cold. So off I go and back to the truck. I have just rejoined the original trail, and I've got about 500 meters or so until I'm back at my truck. And I'm looking forward to getting there. This pack is starting to really crush on my shoulders, and I haven't had anything to eat or drink since 8 a.m. this morning, and we're coming up on 2:30 now. Anyway, what a great day today was. Sunny and cold, just the way I like it. Lots to see, lots to photograph. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it across the meadow to seek out a new winter camping spot, but that's okay. Still managed to see lots. And wow, at least a dozen big pines along this trail. I'd forgotten how big they were and how impressive. So always nice to spend time with a great big tree. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm gonna get back to the truck, warm up and get some nourishment. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you on the next one.